There we go. Oh, hang on 1 second. The post-nasal drip continues. Welcome to winter. So hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you like that. That was this is a good place. I'm in a good place musically today, and actually my hips are sore because I was messing around with this rig yesterday and like 5 hours went by and I just realized I've been rocking my hips for 5 hours. It's crazy. Let's see who is here today. Just a real quick. Emotion, Casual Noises, Citizen, Craig, Don, Dr. Cynthio, Echo Craft. Hey, Eddie Sonic. And by the way, Eddie Sonic, thank you for moving your headphones to the end of your name. When I have tagged you multiple times in various streams over the last week or so since you made that change, a couple of weeks, it's so much easier to tag you when your name begins with E as opposed to begins with headphones. So thank you. If you made that change because I was whining about it, I appreciate it. Let's see, Garen, I Sing the Body Electric. Andy's here. The electronic composer. Hey there. You sound familiar. You must, if you're back, welcome back. Viral Beats. Let's see. Let me do a quick scan here. Yeah, it's the last episode of the year for sure. And Wednesday starts JAMuary. This is the JAMuary rig. I'm going to do a rundown for you guys, sort of explain how it works. There's a new thing over here, the jelly beans, I call them. So let's see. Hey, Edub. Let's see. Who else am I missing? If I miss someone, Peter Tatchell's Irrelevant Coffee Table. Hey there. If I miss you, I apologize. Just tag me if you have a question. Put a capital Q if you're on mobile or something, or a couple of them, or like 6 or 7 capital Qs so they stand out, or tag me. Music Smurf, hey. Dubstation Zero, Quasar, Don, hey. A few others. Dr. Cynthio, and if I miss you, I'm sorry. I'm scanning and my eyes are bad. I did a beat today. I did a beat. So this was more proggy than Berlin School. Although the opening was ambient. If you got here before the stream started, it was ambient for a while. So it's not quite January yet. Mr. Hopkins, hey there. Anyone else? No, I think that's it. Okay, cool. All right, so let's make sure that we're looking at I'm broadcasting what I think I am. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got the grid and the transparent hands. If that's annoying, let me know. I think it's fun. So I'm doing the whole chroma key thing on the gray. So the gray keys in my hand gets turned, what is it? Marvel Universe, I'm the watcher. Yeah, all right, so we're looking at what I want to show you. So, love the transition to the beat. Thanks, Craig. Hey, my case. And Daniel the Dentist. Nice. Welcome back. Country Fair. All right. So if I've missed anyone, I hope you like that piece of music. That was partially improv and partially prepared. So let's talk about the rig here. So we're using 3 hardware synths and some soft synths, and we're using the push as a control surface. Don says he needs a reasonably priced new gear software of hardware. Have to think, please. Have a think. You need a reasonably priced new GIR software of hardware. I don't know what you mean, Don. You'll have to rephrase that question. So that's okay. Rig. Oh, you need a reasonably priced new rig software or hardware. Have to think. Well, reasonably priced. If you're in software is awesome, right? As far as being reasonably priced, it's way cheaper than hardware. We can talk more about that. So, although this rig is not reasonably priced. So we got the push. We're playing the bass. All right. That's the bass, as always. You can't see it. It's off camera, but I've got some control surface sliders over here that are controlling this. That's a soft synth. It's a Chroma Polaris, sort of brass horn. I call it my prog horns, my heroic prog horns. And I mix those with what I call my prog e-piano, my prog roads. And I mix them together. So when I want that heroic lead line, right? Or if I'm going to do comping, a lot of like... I like that, and I play with them. A little less, a little more horn. And that was droning at the beginning. That was the drone under all the other stuff. So let's see. Yeah, it's a wrong hobby for reasonably priced. That is very true, citizen. Like how you did the mids, leads, and the drums for added bass. Thanks, man. I was trying. So the lead side of "Send Me an Angel." Oh, I love that song. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to go listen to it again. Send me an angel right now. That one. Right now. Oh, great. Who did that originally? Yeah. Oh, God. Because it's got that great synth line across the verses now. Let's see. I don't think I can do it from memory. I never played it, but something. It was in a minor key. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Oh, great song. Great song. So, who is the band? Will says his Quadra through just shipped. Nice. Real Life. Real Life was the name of the band. Okay, so go find a video on YouTube of Real Life performing "Send Me an Angel." The opening synth bit is this sound. You're correct. I agree. I shouldn't say you're correct. I agree. And that is a fantastic song. They're like a one-hit wonder. They had one hit. So anyway, and then we're using a Korg Op6 for that 80s compy kind of. And you could use this to do double duty as a bass. So it works both ways. I didn't use it as a bass in this one, but... So this is off the Op6. This is actually a preset called Dynamic with a K. So if you're looking for that sound. Gnome Life. All right. Let's see. There are worse hits. That's a good hit. Anyway, Send Me an Angel. I'm going to listen to that right after this stream. In fact, I don't have my phone. Okay. Well, memo to self. All right. Or when I go back and check the stream afterwards, I'll hear myself saying this and I'll go do it. Then we've got, because we were doing this ambient drone at the beginning. And I'm just in this classical space lately, so I like orchestral. I think because I've been listening to Kent Spong. And this is the Korg Wave State. Oh, lovely synth. If you just wanted a synth that doesn't sound like anything else, go find a used Korg Wave State. They're great. Or get the software version. They sound awesome. And they don't sound like anything else. Then we've got... So we're using 3 hardware synths. Korg Op6, Korg Wave State, Korg Mod Wave. I do want a multi-poly. It's going to happen one day. But... So I want another sort of ambient pad, something I could drone. With a little weird in there. Nice. I love that. And so the rest of these are soft synths. I think it's all Omnisphere actually, because I'm a sucker for Eric Persing. Eric Persing is my favorite sound designer. If you don't know who Eric Persing is, we've talked about him in the stream before. He's the guy who started Spectrasonics, but he was basically sound design god for the 80s and 90s. Did everything at Roland for like the D series, the D50, all that. That's Eric Persing. And then he went to Korg, I think. And I think he had a hand in like the M1 and stuff like that. And he's just awesome. And that's why Omnisphere is a soft synth you should invest in. It's definitely worth the $500. And I don't say that lightly. Like, it's worth saving and stretching to get Omnisphere. It's a great synth if you like these sort of sounds. Then I've got a bunch of drones loaded up. Drones and ARPs. I didn't use this yet, but we'll play with it in a minute. Wavestate or Blofeld software version? Wavestate. Absolutely Wavestate. Blofeld is a great synth. I have it in hardware. I didn't buy the software one though, but I did ask the guy who's borrowing it, Taskboy, to send me a picture of the serial number because I was thinking about getting the software Blofeld. But if you're going to spend the money, I'd get the Wavestate native VST. The Blofeld's great, but the Wavestate's more different, right? Let's see. Yeah, Garen can tell you all about Korg. So Blofeld's great. D series is legend. I agree. If you're going to, like, I've done a lot of programming at the Blofeld on my Blofeld, and it's very capable, especially if you get into the multi stuff and you start layering. So you do, 2, 4, 8. You could do 16, but it tends to fall over. Once you get a whole bunch of layers rolling, the system crashes from time to time. So, but you don't really need 16 layers on a sound. So, but 4 is great and it works fine. But you could do the same thing. The Wavestate also has 4 layers and it does more interesting things. It can actually, it'll cycle through its samples, whereas the Blofeld will not. It'll scan a sample, but it won't. You can't swap samples in the middle of the patch while it's playing. Or if you can, I'm an idiot. So you can leave that in the comments if that's the case. But I couldn't figure out how to do it. Let's see. Yes, you can lay digital native dance at the feet of Eric Persing, for sure. Although I think that sample actually came from, what are they called? Fairlight, or one of the early samplers that was super expensive. A bunch of the sounds that are in a lot of the Korg and Roland library are stolen samples or resampled samples out of that. And I think the drum beat in digital native dance actually came from the Fairlight or the other one. The other one. So, let's see. Push one is a controller or uses a doorstop. Push one is a very capable controller. It's fine. If you like grids, it works well. And Ableton's done a lot to make the push one like backport features and stuff. So, let's see. Craig asks, for your information, Source started. Yeah, I know Source started at the same time. So originally I thought I had to change this because family scheduled an event at, my wife says, Sunday at 2. And I said, I'll move the thing to 10 instead. I was going to do it at 10 this morning. And then she's like, it's next Sunday. I'm like, oh, all right. So I moved it back, but Soar had already scheduled the Panda chat. So whatever, it's fine. It's not a zero-sum game. So like if people go watch them, that doesn't take food out of my mouth. Not a big deal. Let's see. All right. So keep going. So we got some drones. We got this one. And these are all Eric Persing drones. Just awesome stuff. And then a few ARPs. This was playing at the beginning. Right? You don't need to scan wavetables for everything. These are just sines. Plucky sine waves. They sound great. We'll delay a little reverb. Nice. So we got that, and I've got another ARP loaded up. Again, sines are, those might be squares. Right, so these are the palette we're working with today. And then we've got these leads, and we started with I was doing a lot of bird noises at the beginning when we first started up. I was like, or you ever see or hear Peter and the Wolf? That's sort of interpretive orchestral. So the drone's running. Here, let's do this. The drone was doing this. Let me sustain that. And then we had this thing. All right, so those are droning. And then I had, I think this dark spark thing doing. Right, it doesn't take many layers to put a drone together. I mean, more is better. Ask Andy. Synchrotron will tell you. It's like how many drones does it take to get to the center of a synchrotron track? How many layers does it take? Hey, Wookie! How you feeling? I sing the body electric. Hey, if I missed you earlier, I don't think I did. Right? So droning. So this is a really simple drone. It's an ARP and a saw. Just doing the thing. Right? And then I was doing bird noises on top of that, which is this. Anyway, so that was that. But we've got a few other lead sounds in here. So I'm using the mod wheel over on the side. And then we've got a slightly less coarse lead. Just pure saw. A little vibrato. And then I've got this like 90s rave lead that's fun for super saw kind of lead. And it's got a really long tail, so I can just tap out a little melody. Like. Something like that. All right. Anyway, so that's there. Let me kill these. And that was the lead. And then I have a drum kit. Oh my God. I'm not a drummer. So if you'll see me do some finger drumming here, or maybe you saw me put something in. It's really terrible. So we just bring the volume up. It's just a rock kit. Little room reverb. Right? These are not fantastic. Like the tracks I release, I really like agonize and labor over the drum kit and the drum programming on them, because my dad's a drummer and I would feel guilty if I didn't. But this is like totally like, let's slap a loop together and see where it goes. right? Because these all get buried underneath all the ARPs and stuff, so, and the bass line. Anyway, so that was that. We'll come back to it. All right, so that's the sounds. All right. Let's see. Craig says, let's say your stream is a lot less NSFW. Yeah, I'm trying not to curse in my stream anymore than what you just saw on Soar. Yeah, Soar is very entertaining, but really, profane. Panda wearing nothing but a tuxedo Speedo. That would be fine. Panda has no body shame, and nor should he, which is awesome. Was he wearing the Panda head at the time? Let me know, Craig. But I am a bass player, yes. Martin Sturzer does a good track creation live stream every so often. Yep, I agree. No Panda head. All right. Anyway, so that's the palette we're working with today. And all right, so this is the JAMuary rig. JAMuary starts on Wednesday. This thing over here, this colorful Launchpad Mini, I'm calling the Jelly Beans. And what it is just a little custom surface that you can put together using their Components app. Drop squares on the thing and say what they do. These are changing my patches. This is the level of the drums. This is a sustain. If I turn this on, whatever will sustain. So like, right. So that'll sustain as long as this little green button's on. If I turn it off, it'll stop. And that'll work for anything. So I've got 8 tracks of instruments here. I've got 8 sustains. So it's just a tool. Systems of profanity. Yeah, absolutely. They're okay. Yeah, so that's what these are. And then this thing over here is the Jelly Beans. This is the global transposition stuff. So if I start, I've talked about this last January, but I'll just start a bass line playing. Now, let's try something a little simpler. All right. All right, so this is playing. It's a clip I recorded, right? And I can do this while I'm live looping. So actually, we'll do that. We will literally do something new. All right. So just very quickly record a thing. And it's going to be really simple because I want to demonstrate how the Jelly Beans work. Yeah, good enough. Let's do this. All right. Oop, nope, wrong. Turning the wrong dial. All right, so there's a bass loop. The way the Jelly Beans work is these are programmed into Ableton. This middle one, so the colors are scale degrees. Okay. If you don't like music theory, hang on. Okay. Just buckle up or put your earplugs in for a second. I'm not a theory guy either, so I may get things wrong, but there are 25 squares being used here. Okay. And you think about 2 octaves of transposition is 25 notes, from -12 to +12. In the middle, the 25th one is 0. Okay. This grid of 25 notes, this middle one is 0. When I push it, all of the instruments in my set are playing whatever note I play. They play it true, okay? If I going up, which means going this way, it's going to transpose everything by scale degrees. So 1, or here's 0. That's 1 scale degree transposed. But Ableton is smart, and it can keep everything in key. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scale degrees is an octave up. All right. So I can transpose the clips that are playing, or my own playing, because this affects the grid as far as what I'm playing as well. And I can transpose it up or down 12 scale degrees. Okay, so what I did in the performance at the beginning, if you scroll back and watch that performance, I recorded some loops, and I had pre-recorded just to make it more showy, right? And then, because I would just start a scene towards the end there. And then sometimes I'd play, and sometimes I'd sit here and be playing the jelly beans and doing live arrangement. I'm saying, okay, I'm at root, I want to go up a fifth. So I'd hit the fifth scale degree. And then I said, then I want to go to the seventh, and I hit the seventh scale degree. So let me start this clip and I'll just demonstrate real quick. Okay. Thanks, I sang. No, you can get that bass sound for $500 by buying Omnisphere. Okay. All right, so let me just start this clip. All right. I'll do this one. I'm going to mute a couple things. All right, so let's solo. What are we listening to? Soloed my own mic. So there's bass, the horn, and the comping. Okay, so those are the clips that are playing, and the drums. And then if I go to the jelly beans here, I can transpose them, which is what I did while we were playing. So we go up. That's the fifth scale degree, seventh, fourth, one. So if you go look up popular chord progressions, you'll find 5-7-4-1 is a good chord progression used in a lot of music, right? And that's all I'm doing. I'm just basically saying, take these patterns and do chord changes. And so I'm live performing the chord changes. 4. Right? You can still screw it up. Now, the other thing you can do, and this is something I'm kind of proud of, because a lot of tools, so this internal transposition, keeping things in key, is super popular, and it's coming out in everything. Every piece of gear, the OPXY, all the new stuff, all the new hotness is basically, they're saying, oh yeah, we're scale aware, right? Which is great, because that's basically what we're doing here. We're saying, okay, we're in a particular key, we're in A Dorian, and say we're going to transpose things around by scale degrees, and hey, computer, keep everything in key so it still sounds good, right? And everything does that now, which is awesome. So if you're messing around with your gear and it says, oh yeah, we're scale aware, look to see if you could do transpositions, if you can transpose stuff around, move patterns, change things, because it'll keep it in key like this, and it sounds good. Let's see. Do I have an Ableton plugin to transpose? Yeah, Animotion, the built-in, so before Live 11 or before Live 12, in Ableton, in either 11 or 12, the pitch device became scale aware. I think it's 12. But before, if you have an Ableton older than that, you can combine two devices. You can combine the pitch device and the scale device. There's an actual scale device. And you put the pitch in front of the scale, and then you automate with some control surface like this, the jelly beans here, changing the pitch knob. So if you want to go up a scale degree, it's 2-ish, depending on the key you're in, right? And then the scale device next to it that you set to the key you're working in will force any transpositions to remain in key. You can do that. I've been doing that for years, since Live 6. Really, it's easy. It's fun to do. But in 12, I think it was in 12, all the devices became scale aware. So now the pitch device by itself, you put it in scale aware mode, and when you turn it, it will keep all the transpositions it does in key. It's trivially easy. So, Okay, so Jeff asked, if you do chords with jelly beans, does your lead still get transposed too? Both my playing live gets transposed, Jeff, and any recorded ones get transposed. But on the jelly beans here, this green row, that is when it's green, the transposition is active. And when it's red, I can tell it, no, don't. So like this 7th track here is my lead track. So if I didn't want it to be transposing me, I would turn that on and say, do the thing, right? And then it's on me to stay in key, which is fine. So it can go either way. One thing that I haven't set up here is these Jelly Bean transposition, these control surface changes, you can actually record them in Ableton to their own track too. So you can record the performance with your live transposition, your live arrangement, and it'll capture it. So when you play it back, it'll remember the changes you did, which is super nice, right? So you just have to record these control changes to another track. So it's super fun. Let's see, there's a lot of chat. Have I missed anything? 1414. What else could you possibly need? I agree. Let's see, any questions? Will says, for me, chord changes are fun in theory, but tend to not happen in actuality. Well, so one thing I do, instead of doing changes, I'll just do one change. I'll say, we're going to transpose everything a fourth, and then just stay there for a while. Just tap and then just keep playing. And then as long as you go back to the root and resolve it, you're fine, right? Let's see. I'm pretty sure Bitwig has scale-aware functions. It's got to have them. Something in the note effects there. I'm sure it does. I mean, it's not hard, right? 15 years ago, what I had to do this was I used Max MSP to write a Max for Live device that had a data in it that contained all of the intervals for all of the scales, and it would do the transpositions in there. That was a long time ago, because Ableton didn't do it back then, and the scale device wasn't exactly what I wanted, because I wanted my control surface. I was using a monome at the time. This was before I had a push. And I wanted the monome to be scale aware. So we coded all that in. But those days are gone. We don't need that anymore. Let's see. Synchrotron. Andy says, I'm so glad I'm not a musician. Liar! Just like the wife in Princess Bride. Liar! You're a musician. Let's see. Hey, Davey, how's it going? Yeah, Jeff, I'm sure ask Jeff. Bitwig can do it. It's got to have it in there. It's really basic. So is this Jelly Bean setup a push thing, or could it work with any MIDI controller? It's any MIDI controller. This little Jelly Bean thing is a Launchpad Mini, little tiny grid. And I've got it in user mode, a custom layout. So I used their little tool to draw this and assign all these things, which was a bit of work. But if you get a Launchpad Mini, send me a comment and I'll just send you I can save this file and you can just have it. Okay. It's not like it's not trademark copyright Synth Seeker 2024. It's not. Anyone can build this. And for convenience, you can just have it. And he says, I don't do key changes. You do though, Andy. You do key changes, because when you're performing in C major at 0 BPM, you'll be playing, and sometimes you will get confused. I want to say you do it intentionally, and you will intentionally leave the key and start playing notes outside the key that basically forces a modulation, right? So the mood changes because you go, oh, that's interesting, and you'll make a comment, and then you'll wangle on that note for a while. I've heard you do it, so you do key changes. Let's see. Yeah, scale note effects. Well, you guys work it out. Anyway, so I was going to demonstrate real quick. So if we're playing this, All right, so this is playing. So my lead's also playing. I'm going to stop the lead. Yeah, and so you do key changes, right? Chord changes. I should put stickers on this so I have numbers, little Roman numerals, to be easier for me to understand, because I get lost sometimes too. But like, you don't have to do a lot of chord changes. You just leave it. I just went down a fourth. No, that's the third scale degree, which is changes everything. Here's my only music theory. We just changed the feel to Lydian, and you can play on it. And if it's too low there, you just come up an octave. Just make sure you go back to the root periodically, because that sort of resolves everything and all the tension that you've built up by going to a weird place. So like, you could go to a weird place. Let's go to Locrian. So like, this is the first scale degree out of here. It's going to sound weird. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, a little bit. You know, a little tense. But you go back to the root, resolve it, like this. Right? There's another one over here. If we go down, the second and the sixth are the ones that are weird. There's some Locrian for you. Right, that's the evil part. When you're writing the soundtrack, right? This is the part of the fight where the bad guy gets control and like starts choking the hero, right? Right? But then you go back to the heroic chord progression. So that's it. So you can do live. So that's another thing you can do when you're performing live that I don't see a lot of people doing, but I sure wish they would, because it's totally doable. Because all of the gear that we're getting now, all the sequencers, hardware, software, are all scale aware, right? And do smart transpositions. That will let you do this, right? And if you're using Ableton or Bitwig or one of those, the sky's the limit. Yeah, Easy Prog, Easy Prog Copper Dates and Seeker 2024. Thanks, Karen. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the deal. So what's going to happen in JAMuary? So we're almost done here. JAMuary starts on Wednesday. It's going to be this rig. The sounds will change every day a little bit. The sounds will sort of morph over the month. So I have 7 sounds and a drum kit selected. I'm going to do something on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I'm going to do something else, but I'll change one of the sounds and then keep that one going forward. And then the next day, I'll change one of the other sounds. And so the sort of timbre texture of the jam for JAMuary will change over the course of the month. And I'll try and write completely new things. I'll start with a blank slate every day, and we'll do N minutes of music, do an exploration. Some of it'll suck. Some of it'll be fun. And I'll keep it all. I won't delete it. And we'll see where it goes. And that's what's going to happen. All right. So, Matrix Brute doesn't do smart transposition. No, but Matrix Brute eats MIDI, right? And something in the chain in front of it can do smart transposition. So I think Wednesday is the 1st of January, isn't it? Yeah. So that'll be the first JAMuary day for me. And I won't do that thing where I did last year. I was doing it a day early. I won't do that this time because it was confusing people. Not that it matters, but, let's try and be consistent. Just winging it. Yeah. Hangover day. I don't drink, but I understand. So are you releasing a 202 overview, a 2024 overview? Oh, Audrey, I am not. I posted something to the community saying, I was going to do a 2024 year-end video, but I said everything I want to say in my Thanksgiving Day video. So search for turkey. Look for the thing with the turkey flying through space on the thumbnail. The Thanksgiving one. That says everything I wanted to say. It's very sappy. So I'm not going to do a 2024 year end. Someone did ask, maybe it was you, someone asked, because I was like, what questions do you want to hear in the 2024 year end video, etc. And I got only one question. I was like, okay, well. And someone said, what's your next synth purchase, or what synth are you looking forward to in 2025? And I will probably buy a multi-poly. If they come out with a software version, I'm probably going to buy that instead. So, because I don't have space for more hardware. But I'm selling a bunch of pedals. I'm selling a bunch of older synths and desktop modules to try and make room. So I think the Blofeld might go on the block if the software Blofeld is nice. And the Micro Freak is probably going to go away because I just don't use it enough. It's a great synth, but whatever. And I've got on that side of the studio all the analog stuff. All the Moogs are over there, and they're all disassembled. The modular and stuff is like in a state of exploded cables everywhere. So that's what it is. What time on the 1st? UK time would be nice. Yeah, Wookie, I'm debating on that. Part of me says, it's like I get up at 5 a.m. every day, right? So it's pretty easy for me to just pop into the studio at 5 a.m. It doesn't make any noise. I have headphones on, so I'm not going to wake anybody up in my family. So if I do it at 5 a.m., that's what? 10 a.m. UK time, 10, 11, something like that. It's, midday for Euro. So that's what I'm thinking. It's easier to do there. At the end of the day, I'm sort of tired. So last JAMuary and the one before, after 2 weeks, I was like, ugh, I'm tired of doing this because you're tired at the end of the day. So if I do it when I first wake up, I may do it that way. Might do some mornings too. Jeff always does mornings already because that's the only time your kids are asleep, right? And you can go do stuff. For sure. It's 3:01. I think I'm pretty much done. Won't catch you up that early. Well, Craig, you're up sort of that early anyway. I'm going to do one quick live loop. I think Soar's already running. They started it too, doing the Panda stuff. So, UK is 5 before Eastern. So I do it 5 a.m. It's 10ish over there, right? Yeah. All right, let's do another little pattern here. And we'll do it on this one. And we'll start with this comper. All right, let's do something. We'll play with the tempo too. We'll bring the tempo up a little bit. We'll go to 114. Wow, way to flub it. Okay, hold on. Delete. How's that? Sure, Audrey. Thank you for coming and enjoying the Sundays. All right, let's put a bass line on this. And for Audrey, because he was so kind for a year, let's bring the sub in. Now we're going to put that sort of 80s compy thing in there. Got to figure out where to put it. It's got to go in between the notes. keep that as it is. All right, let's put a lead on there. We'll use the ravey lead. And since that's a 4-bar pattern, we'll do a 16-bar pattern for the ravey lead. So, we'll put a drum part in too, because my drumming is so awful. You know what? Because we're short on time, I'm going to steal one of the other drum parts. All right, let's play with the jelly beans. Live transposition. Let's change the lead. Make that a half-length pattern. And we'll go back to that 4-chord progression. Change the sound. Let's make it legato. That's a little bit better. All right, that lead is annoying. Let's switch to a different one. Go back to our rave lead. bring it out. Shut it down for the day. And then we're done. So thanks everybody, whoever's still here. 3:10, I'm a little over. That's fine. I hope that was fun. Any questions really quick? Scan back. Oh, I hear the dog crying outside the door. Let's see. Nice Hasselhoff reference. Win. Hi, Isaac. Thanks. Yeah, the transpositions work great. So I like playing with the jelly beans, the live transposition thing. It is a great time, awesome time to be making music with technology. Just right on the cusp. And the AI stuff is just going to make it better, I think. Embrace those tools. I'm a big believer in composing should come from the composer, right? But composers should learn to use the tools, right? Because a novice using those tools, they'll be elevated and they can make music they're really happy with. But imagine what someone who, is like schooled way more than I'm not schooled, right? But someone who really knows their shit, and then give them these tools, who knows what they'll make? I think it'll be great. So I have hope. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah, you record the progressions in another clip and then you can launch them. You can literally do that in live. I can do that with this system. I have not built it yet, but it's a doable thing. I have done it in the past. I proved to myself that it's doable. I just need to set it up. You basically route, because these are just notes. The jelly beans is notes, 2 octaves of notes. So those notes are coming in on a MIDI channel and they're being caught by live and used to do transpositions, and mapped to the transposition. But what you can do is you can bring them into live through a track, capture them, or they'll just pass through if you just want to play live, but you can capture them in clips and then you can play them back. It works. So I had to actually tweak it with Max for Live, but it is absolutely doable. Mind the hips. Yeah, I know. I was dancing. Let's see. Anyone up for jam next month? I got my Jam Taba stuff working. Yeah. So yes, I will totally jam with you guys for sure. Anyway, thanks everyone. Everybody's zipping out. Little smiles, little claps. That's cool. Yep. I'll see you guys on the Discord. All right. We're out. All right. I think everybody's done there. Let me close the chat down. And we will end our stream. So thanks. Have fun. End of 2024. See you in 2025. JAMuary starts on Wednesday. Have fun.